Welcome back to the Hangar. We are now doing episode 4 of the Hangar Podcast. We're back. Me and Luke. How we feeling, Luke?
Horrible. I hate the Dodgers.
Lucas, come
I'm
on, buddy. We gotta get to
doing
the
great.
topic before you can. You gotta talk to the people nice, man.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. We were given some pointers by some coworkers that we need to make this more personable, more
Yep.
enjoyable for the viewers other than just us.
Right.
So I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Great day today.
Great day. Windy weather, but you know what?
Windy weather.
More time for pod. More time to talk ball. And speaking of talking ball, like Luke mentioned, the Los Angeles Dodgers may be breaking a lot of baseball fans' hearts. Luke, I would like you to
Mm.
start. I want to hear your opinion on this because I know you're a very passionate Dodger fan.
Okay. So me baseball like my viewing on baseball is that there should be a cap, but there also should be like a floor because I think that what the Dodgers doing sucks. Like, sometimes what they do sucks, but also like other teams are able to do this as well. Other owners are billionaires. They should be able to spend money for their teams, but it gets to a point where I think even you and me were talking about this earlier. Like even like you were like, all right, this is getting out of hand. Like the last two signings they don't need these two people. They don't need Kirby Yates. They don't need these top end relievers. Their bullpen is already one of the best in baseball. They have so much money have already put on the books this year, and they're like, all right, we're gonna go spend more. Like at this point, they're just flexing to flex. Like it's ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. And honestly, like like I not even Roki in there. Like Roki, I that's a separate issue. I kind of we can talk about that in a little bit, but like it's the two reliever moves they made just really irked me.
So in your opinion, at what spot or at what signing did the Dodgers make that you were like, okay, now it's like this is stupid. You think it was the relievers?
Well, originally with Blake Snell, I was like, because they already have like a rotation of people that they already like they're good with already five, and they get Blake Snell. I was like, all right, that wasn't necessary, but I guess the Dodgers like you could still like kind of do move around that, but then getting Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, like two top 10 closers in baseball, like we already have like Trinan and who else do they have on the
We got
closer
Bruce
like
Gratterall, Evan Phillips, Michael
Evan
Kopech.
Phillips. Michael Kopech and Evan Phillips are going to go out for the sixth inning now.
Oh my God. See,
Yeah, like
to put it in a perspective, like the Dodgers, they can have two different sets of seventh, eighth, and ninth inning guys. Like that's how good they are. On a Friday night, it could be Gratterall, Kopech to Trinan. On a Saturday night, it could be a Phillips, Scott, Kirby Yates. Like they have
so
insane depth
gross.
at their bullpen. It's
And it's not
crazy.
even like, they're gonna beat you by pitching. Oh no, they're gonna score a million runs and outscore you too. Like it's
Okay, so I want to go ahead and I want to give my opinion. What I said earlier was complete sarcasm. Luke is not a passionate Dodger fan. He's a diehard Mariner fan. So me and him come from totally different worlds in the sports world. I'm used to this. Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. I am not used to this kind of spending. This is insane. Am I used to
okay.
my team making moves, making the best available options for the team? Yes, I am because the Dodgers have done that pretty much my whole life. Like they went out and traded for a Manny Machado, right? They went out and made a trade for Yu Darvish in 2017. Like they're always willing to make the moves and make their team better pretty much my whole life. This is what gets me. I have the unbiased take and I have the biased take. The unbiased take is this. The Dodgers, like Luke said, are doing what's best for the organization. They have a billionaire owner that's willing to spend his money. They're deferring money, which anyone can do. They're going out and they're putting the best product on the field. There's a video of Andrew Friedman. They asked him, "Are you ruining baseball? What do you have to say to the people that say you're ruining baseball?" And he said, "I'm rewarding our extremely passionate fans." And as a Dodger fan, I love that. I'm like, "Yep, this is a guy that's a mastermind. He's a guru. He's making the right moves. He's making the fans happy." But that unbiased side, it's tough, man. It's tough because we don't even need Kirby Yates. We don't even need Tanner Scott. And this is the part that's really bothering me about the Dodgers. We have way too much depth. I'm like you would say maybe a couple years ago, you can never have too much depth. I think the Dodgers have broken that stereotype. Bro, I'm gonna say this right now. The Dodgers are going to have the best minor league team of all time, best AAA team of all time. Literally,
100%.
Like it's not right what they're doing. I want to pull up their depth charts for pretty much just everyone, bro. They have an insane amount of depth. Like Tanner Scott, Michael Kopech, Blake Trinan, M. Felix, Alex Vezia, Anthony Bonda, Ryan Brazier, Michael Grove's still coming back from injury. Dustin May's coming back from injury. A guy named Engardo Henriquez was on the playoff roster last year. Is he just supposed to not be a part of the team? We signed Giovanni Gallegos to a minor league contract. Landon Knack, Justin Robleski, Brusar Gratterall, Ben Kasperius started a World Series game for us last year, and now he's not even expected to make the roster. Like we haven't even mentioned Tony Gonsolin, bro. Like there's so many names. Justin Robleski made a handful of starts for us last year. Bobby Miller. Like the names are like endless and they only have a limited amount of spots. So I really don't know what the Dodgers are doing. And Luke, I kind of want to ask your side of that. Why do you think they're stockpiling so much depth in the pitching side of things?
Well, I think they had the worst case scenario for them last year. Like their entire pitching staff went down, and they were like in the playoffs. They had to do every other like third game. They had to do a bullpen game, and they still won a World Series off that, by the way. And so that was their one weakness is we had real bad pitch, like not bad pitching, but like we just had really bad luck. Like everyone was getting injured, and so off that they're like, oh, this isn't gonna happen again. We're not gonna let this happen. And instead of oh, we'll sign a person here and there. Oh no, they signed everybody. They got everybody. And I don't even blame them for that though. Like having a team, having an owner that has money and you're willing to spend it, I'm all for that. Like that's how it should be generally. But this is just too over the top. And also like they're making money back. Like that Otani, getting Otani, like you don't like the money wise. Like I was listening to a podcast the other day and they're talking about the financials from like LA's perspective of how much money they made alone from Otani, like from the Japanese markets and brand deals they're doing, like deals they're doing with like other like Japanese companies. Like they have the money to go do this now, and it sucks. Like I don't even blame them for it. Like having that money and being able to spend it, and then also the players like they want to go win a World Series. They want to go contend every year. So if you're getting a similar offer from the Red Sox or the Dodgers, like you're gonna go to the Dodgers. Like I don't. The whole thing
I,
just sucks.
I
Like,
feel
but
you
I,
on
like
that.
it's understandable though. Like I get it.
So there's another point I want to make. This is a point that this is like more towards the unbiased side of things for me because this is a point that I was like thinking about it, like why the Dodgers, blah blah blah. Listen, I'm just gonna read Kirby Yates' stats last year. As a
Mhm.
reliever, he had a 3 WAR. He had a 1.117 ERA. He pitched 61 innings. He had 33 saves. He struck out 85 guys in 61 innings. Guy was an absolute stud. The Dodgers signed him to a 1 year contract. Check the calendar, people. It's January. Why was Kirby Yates not signed? Why are teams letting the Dodgers be able to just say, Kirby Yates, season starts in a couple weeks. People got to report in a couple weeks. We're going to just go
Mhm.
ahead and give you a 1 year contract. And you're going to say yes because we're building one of the best rosters of all time. Why are all these other teams letting a guy like Kirby Yates fall this long for the Dodgers to actually make a move? Kirby Yates was probably one of the best closers in baseball last year. There's no reason for him to not be signed to this point. So I want
Mhm.
to I want to hear your side of that. Like, is there some sort of blame that you can put on other teams for even allowing a guy like Kirby Yates to wait this long?
Well, I think owners and teams not willing to spend money or not giving the team like the owners not giving teams money to spend, first of all. And then also one based off of that, it's like what fits, like what teams need a closer. And then even from that, letting the market settle. So like signings do take a while. Like you'll get your first initial wave of signings. So it'll take a little bit longer, but it's just kind of finding the right teams because like teams go into like off-season plans like, hey, we're gonna spend this much money, we're gonna go after this. And high-end relievers aren't always in the beginning stages of that. Like there are certain teams that do need it, like the Yankees, they went out and got Devin Williams.
Right.
And like relievers are so volatile, like they don't need to spend a teams don't really spend a lot of money on it, especially when you have such a harsh budget. Like you're not gonna go spend fit like 10 plus $1 million a year on a reliever. Like it's only saved for certain like echelon of teams.
Right.
So it already kind of like diminishes a little bit. So it's kind of understandable that it like takes us while like takes a while. And it just kind of how the it kind of unfolds with just like again, like my reiteration of like teams, middle market to lower end market teams don't spend money. They can't spend money from their owners. Like I wish every team was like the Dodgers that they could go spend money, but it sucks that only a few teams can. Like it's
But
how baseball is right now,
I
and it
get what you're
sucks.
saying on that, but I just feel like Kirby Yates was definitely worthy of being signed. Let me read off the list of relievers that were signed before Kirby Yates, and you can compare their stats to Kirby Yates, and you're like, wait a minute. Kirby Yates was great. And I'm only going to read the 1 year deals because some of the 2 year deals, like those are younger guys. You know, Kirby Yates is like 37 years
Mhm,
old. He's definitely an older option. But like Chris Martin was signed before Kirby Yates. Hobie Milner was signed before Kirby Yates. Jose Leclerc was signed before Kirby Yates. Yimi Garcia was signed before Kirby Yates. Joe Ross was signed before Kirby Yates. Jordan Romano was signed before Kirby Yates. Like Jacob Webb was signed before Kirby Yates. Like my point is, if teams really don't want the Dodgers going out and signing guys, why are they
mhm,
letting guys like this fall? The only reason the Dodgers have Kirby Yates because it's January and they're just like Michael Kopech's gonna miss the first month of the year. Might as well just give him. Why not? Why not just throw a little more money out at Kirby Yates since no one else wants him and he's been one of the top relievers in the game.
mhm. Do you know how much Kirby Yates signed for?
The
I
the,
can't
the
find it.
money hasn't come out, but we know it's a 1 year deal. I'm
It's gonna be
curious.
like it's gonna be like over 12 for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I think it'll be in that range.
It's gonna be like I think it's gonna be like 15,
But
17.
Luke, what have we talked about? There's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal. You could just trade him at the deadline if your team sucks, and if he sucks, you just gotta eat the money for only 1 year. You know?
No, but the owners don't think like that though. That's why it's such an interesting conversation for like me as a Seattle like sports fan of like being the Mariners and then living in L like in this area like where we are like with Dodger fans. Like every time I talk to a Dodgers fan, they're like, "Dude, just go out and spend money." I'm like, "That's not how it works." Like the owners like don't want to do that. You very fortunate where there's an ownership group with the Dodgers that are like, "We're going to spend all the money in the world," and they have all the money in the world. They get so much money like they're billionaires for a reason. Go spend that money.
Right.
It's like my biggest thing, like hammering home, like the stupid Cubs owner they talked about with Tanner Scott. They were interested, and they're like, oh well, we're really strapped for cash. Like we're trying to like break even every year. No, dude, you're a top five market in baseball, and the Diamondbacks should not be outspending you this season. Like the Diamondbacks are spending more with their RSN issues and stuff like that, and already going into this offseason, they're like, oh, we're not going to give you that much money, and they go out and get Corbin Burns. Like every team is able to do that because
Right.
every owner is so much money, but just teams, their owners will not are so stingy and like crying poor, but they're not.
Right.
That's the
So
issue with baseball.
that is an issue with the MLB. So let me ask you this before we kind of move on to Roki specifically, because obviously he's been one of the biggest names of the offseason. I want to ask you this. What steps do the MLB have to take to fix this? Because this is becoming a problem. Are we going to
Mhm.
start punishing people for not spending, or are we going to start punishing people for spending too much? So meaning salary floor or salary cap. What do you think's the best way?
Oh well, the CBA is in after the next, I think after 26, I believe.
Okay.
So that'll be like that when they start doing stuff, and it'll really unfold if the Dodgers win the next two World Series. I definitely think if they do win the next two World Series, which I would not be surprised. I could definitely it's them seeing like, oh, too much money. They're gonna try and do something about that. But I think the real issue is floor. But again, it has to get all owners to pass, and owners will not do anything about that.
Right.
They're like anything to make them not make as much money, they will not want to do. And so I think they'll definitely attack for a cap. But what sucks is because they already put that in place with like taxes, like, oh, you'll spend more tax money
Right.
if you keep going farther and farther. But the Dodgers don't care. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
They're
We'll spend
paying.
a
So
hundred
I
million
saw
on
the thing. They're paying
tax.
$100 million in tax. But let's think about it, just off of not even including all the money they're gonna make off jerseys with all the new players they're bringing and all the tickets they're gonna sell. Listen, I've been going to Dodger games since I was a little kid. I have never seen pavilion seats $150 for a random game in May, bro. All right, there's like it's like every game it's gonna be like playoff money. The Dodgers are
Um,
going to be fine. They're making all this money off of incentives. Like, so So pretty much the MLB's defense to people spending too much is, listen, you're gonna pay us more tax. The Dodgers have literally just said, screw that, we do not give a damn. So now this creates an issue. What if more teams start saying, screw that, we don't give a damn? And it's just gonna become a problem, man. I don't know.
I hope that happens. It won't happen though. It'll
Yeah,
if anyone does it, it'll be Steve Cohen and the Mets, and that's
right.
it.
But it just gets to a point, man, where it's like I understand both perspectives. You know what I mean, Luke? Like I definitely understand both sides of it. But I don't know what the best way to go about it is because the name of the game is winning championships, at least for more teams than not, right? There's some teams that probably don't give it really care. But I think that if we're gonna start punishing teams for wanting to spend and win more money or win more
Mhm.
championships, that's where an issue arises. Like we can't do that. We can't
Mhm.
just be like Dodgers, you can't keep doing that. So now we're gonna start giving you a cap on how much you can spend. That just feels wrong. It feels like you're
Mhm.
punishing them for doing the right thing.
Yeah. No, no, I definitely agree. Like, but there also should be a limit to how
There
much they can spend.
you really but like what's a reasonable limit where the Dodgers can still be the Dodgers, still spend their money, but also not really like not like to this extent because it's crazy. The fact that they're signing like relievers now to like Tanner Scott, what did he get? Tanner Scott like got like I think it was like $18 million a year.
Yeah,
No, no.
4 for 80 or something like that.
It was like 4 for 70. Sorry, where my quick maths are not there right now.
I think it was
But
4 for 80.
was it? So even
I
that,
think.
like the fact that Dodgers went out and gave Blake Snell a crazy contract, Roki had to sign on a crazy signing bonus. They gave Hyseung Kim some money, and they're still able to do that. That's where it feels excessive because you're not even thinking about Mookie Betts' $300 million contract. Freddie Freeman's got a big contract. Shohei Ohtani's got a big contract. Tyler Glasnow's got, bro.
They
I'm
have.
gonna,
I saw something where they have like over $1 billion in deferrals.
yeah, it's insane. Teoscar got paid. I didn't even think of that. Like,
Michael
bro,
Conforto.
Michael. I don't know. Yeah, that it feels excessive. And listen,
What's the
I want to
weakest in
end
that
on this
team?
because I did say we were gonna move on and we stayed on this, but you know what? Right now, this is like the main topic of the sports world. Literally, like
Yeah.
it's crazy what it's come to. But I want to say this. Not all Dodger fans are those Dodger fans that you've talked to. I will say that. I've sent it to some of my friends, some of my family. I want to get your opinion on this. They've all kind of agreed. Listen, this is we got them over, boys. Let's go. Let's clap it up right there. But listen, they all kind of agree like you know what we're doing it might be a little much like they kind of whisper it too like so some of the
Mhm.
other people don't hear but I think their argument and I've noticed this from a lot of fans is listen we got screwed in 2017 we've been the butt of the joke the last like 5 years now we're just gonna say screw the rest of the league. What song did the Dodgers adopt, bro? They not like us, bro. They don't give a damn what anyone else thinks of them as long as those rings keep coming. So that's what
I,
I think.
I just you're just so spoiled as a sports fan.
We are spoiled, but listen, you guys,
The
I'm gonna say this because some of you people created this monster the Dodgers have created, bro. You guys, the Dodgers first round chokes, bro. I'm telling you, we did not forget, and I don't think our front office forgot, and I think our front office is like, you know what, bro? We're gonna give our fans something to talk shit about, pretty much,
I can't wait for you guys to lose in the divisional series to the Diamondbacks.
with the power of friendship, bro. With the
No,
power of
not power of
friendship.
friendship. I think those Diamondbacks are
See,
good.
that's the thing, bro. Especially in those best of five series, like
Anything
you're
can
telling me
happen.
that a Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Corbin Burns three couldn't stop the Dodgers if the Dodgers get a little cold.
They go over 40 again in the in the divisional series.
I think those days are gone. Listen, bro. I think the
One for
Dodgers got
41.
that monkey off their back of winning in a full season. I think now it's like this is gonna feel easy, bro. Listen, Dodgers are gonna win the World Series next year, Luke. Okay, prepare now.
I
Prepare
don't
now.
want. I don't want to do it.
Come on, bro. Just bro,
Mariners
listen.
2025. You're not ready for it. You're not.
Bro, we'll cut the cameras, bro.
2025.
Look,
The
come here,
power
Luke.
of friendship.
Come here, Luke. Listen,
Yes.
if you become a Dodger fan, bro, no one's gonna blame you. It's okay.
I hate you.
It's okay.
Never. I'm
Okay.
gonna burn this
All
out. I'm
right,
gonna burn
so
this.
Roki Sasaki, Luke. What do we think about Roki, man?
Honestly, like that's how like it's a great move for Roki and the Dodgers. Like Roki is such like a no, like he's a really unpolished like casual fans will think, oh wow, they just got this Cy Young candidate. No, he's not a Cy Young candidate. He is really unpolished. He's had
Yeah.
injury problems his entire career so far. Like
And his velos
he
dip like crazy.
his velo's dipped a few ticks when he got injured. Is and it also like when you go from a Japanese baseball to like at baseball like and then will be like it's different. Like you lose a little bit off of it. So it'll be interesting to see. But he picked what's the best for him in his development. Like you can't knock the Dodgers. Like they have the best player development in baseball. Like
Yep.
every player, the pitcher that goes to that team, they find something. Like Michael Kopech, he was a throw-in whatever deal in that three-team trade for the Dodgers, and he ended up just being like a great piece for them. Like at the to finish the year into the playoffs, like he's in the best situation possible for him to figure it out. So when he's done with those 6 years and he's gonna go get a big contract, like he'll be good. And
Right.
I can't blame him. Like it's best for him. Like it's just what's best for his career, and I get it.
That's true, man. And then my take on Roki is like Luke said, everything about the Dodgers organization is desirable for a player. I mean, they got a team that wants to spend. They got a team that has a great location. Like, who doesn't want to live in LA, you know? Maybe the taxes is the only bad part about being there. But listen, you got beautiful weather, great development, great team. You're with all the stars, bro. You're the center of attention. You're playing for championships every year. I was arguing with this about someone on a TikTok live. They're like, the Dodgers are not desirable. They just throw out a bunch of money. Listen, some of these Dodger players, even Roki, Teoscar, some of these guys are coming over here on cheaper deals than what they've been offered. The Dodgers have created an environment that people want to play for, man. And
Yeah.
and that's the issue. That also it doesn't even just go into money. Yeah, the Dodgers are giving them big contracts, but these players are leaving money on the table just because the Dodgers have created such a great environment. And honestly,
Mhm.
the Dodgers are going to become something special if they just if like no one steps up and challenges them pretty much.
Yeah.
And I do believe the Mets could be that team. But Roki, good on him. He's going to be able to develop. He's going to become a stud. And then like Luke said, Luke always has the right. Bro, me and Luke, bro, we be on the right page, bro. Because
We're
it's
locked
like I
in.
feel like I'm repeating what he just said, but it's like what I feel. In 5, 6 years, he's gonna get being on the Dodgers gives him the best chance to get paid in the next 5 or 6 years. So I love it for Roki. As a Dodger fan, I love it for me. And it's just an all around great signing.
And then also you're talking about leaving money on the table. Padres offered Roki their entire IFA budget and he
It
didn't
was
go to
10
them. He
million, right?
10, 12, something like that. Yeah. And he
Crazy.
went to the Dodgers for six. Like he left money on the table to go to the Dodgers. Also, I have to think about it as well. Like Yamamoto and Otani are on the team. Like
Yeah.
teammates like when they were on the World Baseball Classic, he's around people that he likes, and it's just why don't you want to go win a World Series? Like, why don't you want to go what's best for you
Right.
in your career? Like, it does suck, and like people like on the internet were like, "Oh, this is like KD to the Warriors." No, chill out. No,
Also, we gotta
Blake,
see if Roki can like come over and actually be dominant,
he
you know?
he might also like he's never pitched over 120 innings
That's what I'm
in his
saying.
career. Like,
He's not gonna make a crazy impact throughout the season.
year
But
one
I
though.
I think though, like if like Roki could figure something out and then you all of a sudden throw him out of the bullpen in a playoff game, it's like, oh shit, you know, like it's too much. But
That
before
fastball slider, oh, it's so
ooh,
gross. It's so
splitter, like
gross.
crazy. Guys got crazy stuff, man.
It's
Awesome.
nasty.
So next thing I wanted to this one I want to cover a little quicker. Tanner Scott because I just wanted to make this one point. Honestly, you can add whatever you want to add. I just wanted to say this. I also think Tanner Scott for the Dodgers is just such a crazy chess move. Like this is a guy that's dominated Shohei Ohtani's entire career, and we saw it in the postseason. I think they faced each other in that divisional round like 3 times, and Tanner Scott struck him out every single time. I mean, now for the next 4 years at least, Shohei Ohtani's not gonna have his kryptonite. It kind of reminded me of when the Dodgers had Adam Kolarek and they would use him specifically against Juan Soto. Like this is that similar kind of thing. You know, the Dodgers, yeah, obviously Tanner Scott's great, but now their best hitter doesn't have to face someone that clearly gives them a hard time. It's such a chess move, man.
Yeah, it's like,
Whatever you want to
oh,
add.
who's the one guy that gives Shohei
Literally.
Ohtani trouble in the batter's box? We want you. We want you on our team,
Buddy, they probably gave him a blank check and they're like, there you go,
dude.
buddy.
Yeah,
Welcome.
just don't throw to Shohei Ohtani ever again. We'll pay
Crazy,
you
Luke.
to retire. Okay. Okay.
All right, Luke. Next topic of discussion. We're buying or selling five teams. This is actually a fun segment.
This is
Something
fun.
this is like let's be transparent to our people that even watch this far. If you're watching this far, you're a real one. So I want to
Shout
say
out.
this.
Shout out Octavius.
Me and Luke, we've been talking, where we've been at work, dealing with people at Chipotle, bro. Luke's been cooking up that chicken. I've been serving
Mm,
up that rice. We've been wanting to do more segments, more fun things like this. So I think instead of just talking about moves and giving opinions, I think things like this are fun. Kind of offer different, unique things. So do you want to start with buy or sell, Luke?
let's do buy that. I think that's
Okay, buy.
more
Let's do it.
fun.
Do you want to go first?
I think we should just go like one for one. Like I
Okay,
go
one
one,
for
you do
one. I
one.
bet we're gonna go five each, buy and sell, so everyone
All
knows.
right. You want me to go first?
You go ahead, bro.
All
Take us
right.
home.
This is in no particular order. I'm just like they're just teams that just popped into my mind immediately. First one for me, the Boston Red Sox. They are my team to buy this year. They were 80 or they were 500 last year, and that was they didn't really have much. And now they have a bunch of youth of prospects coming up. Roman Anthony. They have a bunch like their offense is going to get better. They're a really young team. Offense is only going to go up from there. I think Tristan
Right.
Casas this year is going to be healthy. He's going to be great this year. I would love the Mariners if they got him. Rafael Devers, he's Rafael Devers. And then of course on the pitching side, getting a dude like what's his name? I just forgot his name. Garrett Crochet. Getting Garrett Crochet as your one. And they just made so many good moves this
Right.
season, this offseason, and they're pushing the chips forward. And I think they're a team to watch out in the AL East this year.
Yeah, that's literally Luke. It's bothering me that was
Mm,
since you already brought up the Red Sox. I don't want to bring them up later. They were also on my list as my other buy. You knocked out all the points, man. Young
mm,
talent across the board. They actually made a big splash. And let's be honest, man, that AL East it's declining a little bit. The Tampa Bay Rays aren't that same, consistent team that's like always in the playoffs. The Yankees, yeah, they made nice moves, but they are also losing out on Juan Soto, so that's definitely gonna hurt your team. And then the Red Sox, they brought in Walker Buehler. They brought in like vets, solid vets that are to build around. So I,
mm,
I really like that. They're gonna be an interesting team, and I think that they definitely could compete for an AL East title this year.
mm.
All right, who you got? Who's your number two?
Number two, Arizona Diamondbacks. I
Mm,
think they're not really like a team to buy. I mean, technically I can do because they missed the playoffs last year, but I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the NL this year. That offense was so good last year. They were on the second best offense only to the Dodgers, and the only reason they didn't make the playoffs is because they had 89 wins last year. They had more wins last year than they did when they won the World Series or when they went to the World Series. A lot of their issues was their pitching just got
yeah,
obliterated, so many injuries, and they go out and address it, and they go out and get Corbin Burns. Like
it's
that
big.
that duo of him and Zach Allen at the 1 and 2, like that's gonna be disgusting. And you just automatically sign yourself up for like 180, 200 innings of like a 2 ERA and like a low one whip. Like,
Yeah,
dude, pushing that into the playoffs with him, Zach Gallen, and Merrill Kelly, like that is a disgusting three to go against in a playoff series. With that offense, like that offense was really good. And also, um, what's his? I always forget people's names. The left field or the right fielder. What is his name? Corbin Carroll
Carroll.
had a really slow start, really bad first half, and he turned it up at the end of the year. Like if he gets a full year of him just dominating, and Gino Suarez, I love him. I miss him in the Mariners uniform. Him did the same thing. It really slow at the beginning of the year, and I was like, oh yeah, we won that trade. We won that trade, and then that second half had me like, oh god, like he dominated, and I think getting a full year of him like just dominating, like that's gonna be a good team.
Yeah, that's I like that. I like those picks a lot. Another team that I'm buying for this year is the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves
Mm,
are a team I'm buying. Yes, they made the wild card round last year. Yes, they were in the playoffs. But listen, that is not the Atlanta Braves team that we're gonna go out and see. Right? They're getting so healthy, and the fact that they made the playoffs last year, dealing with all the injuries they did, like Ozzy Albies was like one of their only stars like left on the field, and that man was swinging only right-handed because he like was so banged up he couldn't even swing from his left hand side. So I really like the fact that they're gonna have Ozzy Albies back healthy. Michael Harris is bound for bounce back year. Same with Matt Olson. He wasn't himself. Ronald Acuna, I think, is coming back, right?
Mm.
And then
Yeah, he should be
like
back. Yeah.
Schwellenbach, they have like nice arms. Chris Sale just won the Cy Young. Spencer Strider, they're just getting healthy. I love it. I think that they're gonna be a team to look out for this upcoming year. I think with the Mets and Phillies being as dominant as they are, I think that they kind of fly under the radar. So it should be interesting to see how they do.
100%. Braves are one of the best teams in baseball when healthy, and there was them and the Dodgers last year before he, of course, everybody got fell off a cliff and was injured. So like, I agree. Good pick. Good pick.
Thank you, thank you. All right. I'll go with the next one. We'll mix it up a little
Anyways,
bit. For number three, I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Reds. You may be wondering, why am I buying the Cincinnati Reds? The reason I'm buying the Cincinnati Reds is because the Cincinnati Reds are literally always in the mix. Like they're always like that 2, 3 games out of the wild card around like, I don't know, like August, and you're like, okay, they get hot, they catch a little bit of fire, they can sneak in, and it feels like they never do. And I feel like they've made nice moves this offseason. They traded for Brady Singer. They also brought in Gavin Lux. And listen, I don't know really what they're going to do because they have so many infielders. But Gavin Lux, they've been talking about using him as a DH. They use him in the outfield. And Gavin Lux, like, he has the potential I feel like he's been banging on the door of having a nice year. So I feel like maybe a change of scenery will get him right. I think Ellie De La Cruz could be in the MVP conversation. Like, literally, like, this guy
mm-hmm.
is one of the most talented baseball players on the field. Matt McLean. Was he Steer? I always mix up McLean and Steer. Is Steer the one that was injured last year, or was it McLean?
McLean was
McLean.
one that can
McLean's
play
coming
second base
back.
and center. Yeah.
Yeah, they got Steer. Caldelario's probably bound for a bounce back year. I think their rotation's pretty solid. Like people forget Nick Martinez was like really good last year,
Mm-hmm.
so he's coming back. And the AL
Or
NL Central's. Oh, what was that?
sorry, I was gonna say also the jump from Hunter Green last year, like
Oh yeah.
the dude,
Oh,
what
and
a
Nick
year he
Lodolo. They
had,
have like young talent, man. I love it.
dude. But Hunter Green's like a one, like
Yeah,
he's a good one, like
he's a
that's
bad
what they
guy.
need.
That's awesome, man. I love that. And you know
Mm.
what? The NL Central is always crappy. Like we'll see what the Cubs do. The Brewers are always pretty good, but like I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like you catch a little fire early, you get a nice little lead. You never know what could happen. I like the Reds this year.
Mhm. Also, that's so funny because the Reds were literally my third team. I don't think you can see it,
Let's
but the Reds were literally my
go.
third team on the list. I guess I'll go down to my fourth one. Texas Rangers. I'm buying the Texas Rangers this year.
Ooh, I like
They missed
that.
the playoffs last year, but I think this is their year. They're gonna get DeGrom back. I think he's gonna be healthy for most of the year, and I think they fix whatever's wrong with his elbow. Their pitching staff is gonna get better. They have Kumar Rocker. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah,
Real
Danny
good.
boy.
He came in at the end of the year, faced the Mariners once, and just dominated. But of course, it's the Mariners offense. I don't. Anyway, everyone dominated against us. But I think he's really good this year, and just that offense. I don't think they're going to be bottom of the barrel in baseball again. That offense, they went out and got a Jock Peterson, one of the best gauges in baseball. Like
Yep.
he's really good, and I just Corey Seager is going to be good again this year. I don't think if he's not banged up, they'll be good. And Wyatt Langford, he had a really good end of the year, and I think he's just going to dominate this year. Um, and then hopefully
Evan
we get a
Carter's still in the
Evan. I'm gonna
mix,
say Evan
bro.
Carter. Like if they get Evan Carter back healthy, going
Yep.
again, like this team, like if is healthy and is if they get the ball rolling, like oh, also Jake Berger, they got
Dude, I
him.
was
Like
gonna say that because Texas is also one of the teams I have written down. Bro, Jake Berger is like an underrated baseball player. Every time I see this man play out, like for whatever reason, I'll throw on a Mariner game. I swear this guy's always raking.
Yeah, but you mean Marlins, right? He should be the
Oh, what did I
Marlins,
say?
Mariners. I
Yeah,
was
man,
like, oh, he's not.
Marlins.
He's the Marlins. Also, that whole transaction was so good for the Rangers. They got rid of Nathaniel Lowe to the Nationals, and they ended up getting Jake Berger instead. And they put them under the tax threshold, so they don't have to spend as much tax money. And it's relatively like not the same person, but better for them financial wise. And I like that move they did. And I think it's their year, not their year. They already won the World Series like 2 years ago, but
Right.
they're going to be competitive. And I think his AL West is going to be really really competitive this year. And I think they have a chance to win that division.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm for that. They still got a pretty solid rotation on paper. It's definitely they're also one of my teams. So I want to
Mm.
send us home, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, we have the same last team. Also, like how many teams did we share? I think we shared like 3 teams. So that's kind
I
of funny.
I have three so far. Yeah. So I
Well,
got
no,
two.
but didn't you also have the Reds like as
I have
one
the
of your
Reds.
teams?
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, this is our fifth.
Yeah. Yeah. This is our fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Sweet. But I think we have the same fifth. The Oakland Athletics. That's my fifth.
Athletics.
I think that like bro, I swear I follow this page on Instagram, bro, where it
Mhm.
just like posts every home run and I would just see Lawrence Butler and
Lawrence
Brett
Butler.
Rooker hitting the most mammoth home runs, bro.
Mm.
They got their new stadium. I guess it's not really a new stadium. But they have like some guys. I'm like Tyler Soderstrom. What is he gonna give for you? Zach Geloff, he's a very talented player. What Jacob Wilson? That's like one of their top prospects. You mix that in with Butler, Rooker, Langoliers, like they look pretty nice offensively. Like not like crazy
Mm.
good, but it's not something that you're like ashamed of when you look at it. And I love that they go out and they've actually signed people. Like they gave Severino some money. I know they signed Jose Leclerc. Like they're showing a will to like, put a decent product on the field. So I like that for Oakland. I
Mm.
think it's going to be exciting. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to be competing for the AL West, but you never know if they can go out and have a nice year and win like 87, 88 games and sneak in the playoffs. Like you never know.
I think they'll have a high 70s, low 80s win total this year. I think
Right.
that offense is going to be fun to watch, especially in that AAA ballpark. Like,
Oh,
dude, they're going to hit Lawrence Butler's going to hit nukes over there. Like, I just think they have such a young group, and I think they're just going to like go be well together. Like, being in that environment, like being as a team, like it'll unify them. And I think Luis Severino will be good for the A's.
something
But
that oh, sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry,
Sorry,
quick.
go ahead.
Something that I think would be cool for them in the future, obviously, is like, dude, I feel like you throw in a couple vets on this team, and you're like, okay, like
Hmm.
it's looking nice. So, yeah,
Okay, since we shared one, I'm gonna give a 15 that's different. I
okay.
want to I want to throw another team in there. Not it's so much like a buy, but like I think they'll be better this year. The Nationals, I think they're gonna be better this
Mm.
year. I don't think they're gonna like make the wild card or anything, but I think go around 500, a little over 500 baseball, like 70 wins. They have a really good young core out there with Dylan Cruz, James
James
Wood,
Wood. I
like
love me some James Wood, bro.
and I love the get for Nathaniel Lowe. Like that is a great part of like they need somewhere to extend that lineup, and that really fits in well with them. Like C.J. Abrams, like this year, like I think he's gonna be good. And I
Luis
think they had
Garcia is a really good second baseman, also.
Luis Garcia. I wish Gilbert Ruiz was better than he is. He's horrible. Like I was really hopeful like a
Dodger
year or two
legend.
ago. I picked him up in fantasy a few years ago, and I was like, oh dude, this guy's gonna be like a good young catcher of baseball. And then I picked him up again last year. I was like, oh, this guy's dog
Wait a
shit.
minute.
Like
Wait.
he's horrible. But I think that pitching staff will be like interesting. Like I have Mackenzie Gore, I think, going off another year. And I think it's not really a team to buy, but just a team to watch. Like I think they'll be better this year. They'll be entertaining to watch. Like most games, like we played. I remember the series we got against Nationals, and I was like, this is so boring to watch. Like it seems like too like it's just not fun to watch. But I think they'll be more interesting this year. And just a team to mention.
All right, so now next thing we're gonna be moving on to is our sell for each team. Luke started off the buy, so I want to go ahead and start off the sell. My sell is the Baltimore Orioles.
Dude, that's
I,
they're on my list.
Dude, I swear we're just picking off each other. Listen, though, my reasoning behind this, and you can give yours. The reasoning behind this is they lost Corbin Burns, they lost Anthony Santander, and they've replaced it with Tyler O'Neill and Charlie Morton. It's pissing me off. Dude, like I thought the Orioles, like it's so crazy how quick things can change. A couple of years ago, we're like, dude, the Baltimore Orioles got one of the best young cores. They're gonna be ready to win. If they just start signing people to add, they're gonna be really good. And they've done nothing. They've done nothing. So I think that, especially with the way the Red Sox have been making moves, the way the Yankees are obviously still the Yankees, I can see the Orioles being the third team in the AL East this year.
Mhm. I I think so. Just their pitching. I don't know. Like they had some of the top as Corbin Burns, but now who's your Grayson Rodriguez is good, but like is he a one yet? I think he's a good two right now. Like he could
Yeah.
become a one. Zach Eflin is he's I think he's a good pitcher, but I think he's a better three. I
Yeah.
liked him better going to playoffs him as a three, not a two. And then off based off that, like is Charlie Morton your three? Like they have a lot of I know they had a lot of injuries last year, but like I feel like that pitching staff is just too thin and
And
I think a lot of the bounce back year from Adley, and I think I like the Tyler O'Neill signing, but like, is he going to be healthy all year? He hasn't been. He's never healthy ever,
Yeah.
and I don't know with that team. Like, I don't know. I can see them still making the playoffs, but like even the past 2 years they made the playoffs. You know how many playoff wins they have? Zero playoff wins. Like
We
their
need to
win
look
this
up how
code.
many runs they've scored in 2 years of the playoffs
Oh
too. They
God,
like
like
their offense just goes
nothing.
silent every single time. And
Yeah,
then
and
they made that really weird trade where they traded Norby for Trevor Rogers. Like that trade literally made no sense. Like I don't know.
it's
The
just weird
Orioles,
because like it's weird because their GM like loves their prospects, doesn't want to get rid of them, and then gets rid of them for Tyler Rogers.
yeah, like literally, like and Rogers has literally been injured. He had that one really nice year, and he's just been down. The one bright spot of this team, though, their bullpen. They're getting Felix Bautista back. They got Kittredge, Sir Anthony Dominguez, obviously Yenier Cano, Gregory Soto was a former All-Star. Like it's not bad,
Mm.
but it just kind of like, it just
I
looks like
just
eh.
Yeah, well, I think they can still make the playoffs. Like I love that offense. I just don't think they're gonna do anything past making up. Like again, like what they've done. I think they're continue to do what do the past 2 years. Their offense will carry them with their pretty good bullpen, and then once playoffs come, fall out. I don't think because like teams that sell like it's kind of like that with me. Like my next team, I like the first team I put down for me is like the Padres. Like I'm selling on the Padres. Like I don't think. Did you pick them
Dude,
too?
that's my next team. Asshole.
Did you do Orioles Padres?
Bro, literally, if anyone could see that, you could see like right there,
Orioles.
Orioles,
I
Padres.
I did Padres Orioles. It's okay because I think Padres too. Like I think they can maybe make a playoff game, like playoffs too. But like I don't think they're the past few years they've seen as like the team against the Dodgers. And I don't think they're on that level at all anymore.
Yeah, the
I
way I
think
see it with the Padres is like literally you can look at the Giants, they're on an uphill trajectory. The Diamondbacks on an uphill trajectory. The Dodgers were already up here and they're still going upwards. The Padres feel like they've have they made a move? Have they
no, they've
signed
had
anyone?
they haven't signed anybody. They have with their ownership issues too. Like what are they
Yeah,
gonna do with
that
money
makes sense.
wise? They have people on like the last year of their deal. Like they have Dylan Cease, Michael King. Like
Luke, don't
they
let's be honest here. They did make a move, all right? They signed Martin Maldonado.
Oh, to a minor league deal? Yeah, I forgot. To a minor
Let's
league deal.
go.
But dude, their pitching situation in that bottom half of the lineup with bench is like White Sox
Yeah.
level bad.
They haven't even brought Profar back, bro. Like it's like
They don't
what are they
because they're like their owner like they're having a feud with the owner, like they're having owner situation problems,
dude?
like suing each other for ownership, like primary ownership, and they don't have any money.
Let me read you
They
this
want to
name.
sell money.
Do you know who Tirso or Neelis is? That's their projected left fielder right now. Like what is going on? Mike Brasso is one of their projected left fielders this
Oh,
year.
and
Like,
Mike Brasso.
dude,
Oh God.
dude, this is weird. This is what are they doing? And then who's Uguay Rosario? Who are these people? They like have nobodies as their like, bro. How are you one game? Literally, bro. Let's be honest. If they would have won that one of those two games against the Dodgers last year, bro, we could be looking at them as the champions right now. And to think that they've literally done nothing to like build off that, instead they've gone backwards. And
Well,
obviously,
they can't. They don't have any money. They don't. Their
yeah,
money's all
and the
locked up.
ownership's crazy. Yeah, that's what I understand. But like it's just crazy. Like the way it happened, the timing of it is really bad. They
Mm.
were close. Let's be honest. The Padres were like damn close to being a world champion this last year. And now they can't even build off it. Sucks to see. So we'll see what happens. I think like Musgrove's out for the year too. Like,
Yeah,
oh my God. Like it's just everything's going bad for them.
relying on a 38-year-old Yu Darvish to do
Yeah.
anything.
Michael King and Dylan Cease, but there's talks about
That was.
Cease getting traded. Like, I don't know, man.
Mm,
Move on, man. Padres, come on, do I guess see I want to say do better, but you can't even blame them because it's
like
just the
that's not their
situation
it's not their fault.
sucks, man. It sucks that it's come to that. All right, I'm gonna say my third team, and I swear, Luke, if you copy me, bro, the Toronto
Is
Blue
it?
Jays, dude, shut up,
They're my
bro.
number. They're my number 14. I was gonna say
Okay,
them
at
next.
least it wasn't the same location. Listen, Toronto, you San Anthony Santander. I would like to add, I predicted that on this very podcast, so I want to give myself a little clap right there.
Shout out for you.
But
Shout out for you.
besides Anthony Santander, their team sucks. Like I'm just gonna say it as honest as I can. Like Boba Shed hasn't been the same, and then Vlad, he's been a beast, but now they're gonna trade him. Like I don't know. There's so much like uncertainty going on over there. I I don't
It's
even
just
know.
so bizarre. Like I don't get them. Like I don't think they're gonna fall. Like I don't know. Like they're so old and weird. Like Boba Fett, is he going to be Boba Fett again, or is he going to be the same product last year?
Yeah.
Vlad, though, you have to respect. He had a really good monster year last year. But then the second best player that they have on their team, or best second best hitter last year, what was his name? Fuck, Spencer Horwitz. They
Oh,
trade away
right.
for
Jimenez, right? Yep.
Andres Jimenez. Dude, he does not hit the baseball. They've had the best. They've won the Gold Glove team wise like the past 2 years, whatever that is. They already have good defense, and they're like, all right, let's give up one of our better bats for more defense. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, and also second base defense isn't super important. Like, cool, Andres Jimenez is really good, but like, you
I
don't need
think
that. You need bats. You
I
need to
think
be
the
able to score
recap of this
runs.
offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays, like in a nutshell, you could kind of be like, yo, how did the Blue Jays offseason go? And then you could say, well, when they met Hiroki Sasaki, they thought Chad Green was a good guy to send to try to convince him to come. So I think that might be an underlying issue that the Toronto Blue Jays are dealing with right now.
It's just that like no one wants to sign there. Like, cool, you can offer them, but like no one knows what they're going to be doing in a few years. Like, what direction is that team going? That GM is probably going to get fired after this year. Like, I
But
don't
it's
know what
not from a
direction they're
lack of
going.
trying. We can say that. It's
Yeah.
they definitely are in the mix, and I feel like they probably are offering some better contracts. But bro, it goes back to creating a great environment. People just don't want to go. Like if you're gonna go want to play in Toronto, you're gonna want to go play in a great environment. They haven't really created a nice culture there. Like let's be honest.
Also,
Like
they haven't re-signed Vladdy yet. Nobody wants to go to that team
yeah,
with a direction that because
exactly.
if they don't go, they're gonna have to tear it down. And why would you want to go to a team that's gonna tear it down when you're
Yeah.
getting same contracts from the Dodgers or any other Red Sox, like any other team? Like you'd want to go. I'm gonna go there instead of this void of a team.
All right, bro. Well, I'm gonna go on to the next. My number four. I know that you don't have this team because you said it actually as part of your buy. I picked the Washington Nationals as a
Oh
sell because
wow!
because there was a
Wait,
lot and mostly
sell.
or
What is it?
or
What is there to sell?
the thing was that my thought process was more for this. Going into the off season, there were kind of like some rumblings that like they would actually make a move this off season. And I understand that they have a lot of young talent. Okay, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of not liking this answer, but I'm gonna go through with it anyways. I feel
Mm.
like obviously their team has a lot of young potential, so that's something positive. But I would have liked for them to maybe throw in a vet or someone else to be part of this team. Maybe another arm, like a veteran arm, I would have liked. Like who knows though? Maybe they could mess around and sign a Jack Flaherty or something, and they prove me wrong.
Also, I don't know. You can't really put them as a sell when they were 20 games under 500.
You're
What is
right.
there to sell?
I thought they were I meant more for like the off season. Like I thought they would do more, but I guess I understand like the thought process of why they didn't, especially with the NL East like stacking up the way it has been. Like right now, maybe might not be the best time. So I kind of realized that as I was talking that I'm not a big fan of that answer. So, but I hope some people can understand the point I was trying to make.
Okay, my next team, the Cleveland Guardians, are a team I'm selling in
Ooh,
2025. This might be a little bit of a shocker. You're like, wait, Luke, they made the ALCS last year. What do you mean you're gonna sell them?
right.
They lost a good chunk of their offense who I really like to the Diamondbacks. What was his name? But Josh
Naylor.
Naylor. Josh Naylor. Um, and I don't know, like they had such a good year, like from their bullpen and nothing from their starting pitching. And how confident can you be that they can do the same thing again with that bullpen? I mean, of course, you're gonna get the same thing from the top. You're gonna get the same, like, yeah, I get that, but like, I don't know, like, bullpen is so volatile and it's such a weird position. Like, I like, it's not like this is a team I needed to include. Like, I like they can still make the playoffs probably, or like maybe win the division, but like, I don't think they're going to win as many games as they did last year. Like, there's no reason you should have that many starting pitching like problems, like health
Yeah.
wise, and still win that many games. Like, what they did last year was really good, and you got to commend them for it. But I don't think they're going to bounce back
Yeah.
and be able to do the same thing again. Um, I think that division is getting better and better, and I really like what the other teams are doing. And I kind of realized the team I should have put into buying now in the Tigers. I probably should have put them for buying, but I don't know, I think the division's getting better. I don't know if they can repeat what they did last year.
I like that point you make about the division being better. It's definitely more of a dog. Like I feel like the Royals are on the up and up, like it's gonna be tough. So I like that. That's actually a good pool. I'm kind of jealous I didn't think of that. All right, this is it. I saved the best for last for you, Luke, and I
Oh
think
God.
you're gonna very much hate my answer.
Oh, don't say
Number
it.
5 on my cell, your Seattle Mariners.
No, they're gonna win World Series.
Lucas, buddy, let's talk. Let's have an intervention right now, man. You ever
I don't
watched?
want to.
It reminds me of Hangover, bro. We're gonna have an intervention right now.
Mhm.
Seattle Mariners, come on, man. Like you guys blew the playoffs last year. Let's talk about that. And then instead of trying to get better and compete, you guys have done virtually nothing this offseason.
Daniel Solano is gonna win a Gold Glove and an MVP. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So I think that they needed a bat. Like their rotation is literally like if you wanted to
Guys,
build a blueprint of how you want a young rotation to look like, you look at the Mariners because they got five ones, five potential ones in their rotation. But and even their bullpen, like they got one of the better arms in Andres Munoz, right?
they're
But
gonna get Matt Brash back.
Matt Brash, like they looks nice. The pitching, no problem. But that offense, it's nothing to write home about. Like Mitch Haniger's right now, or Mitch Garver's your DH, it looks like, and Victor Robles, Julio Rodriguez, and Rosa Reyna is not like crazy, not terrible in the outfield. But like now we're looking at like Ryan, like I don't know, man. It's just they needed a
I'm a
bat.
Ryan Bliss believer.
I just don't. The lineup doesn't scare me. Could they still win like 80 games because their bullpen or their rotation's that good? Yes. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope that this is a team that they get to the deadline, and the Mariners are always in the mix by the deadline and by like the end of the year. They're always in the mix. I hope this is a team that says, you know what? We have a pretty damn good team. Let's go make a move at the deadline.
Mm.
I hope that they prove me wrong down the line. But as of right now, I'm just not a fan of that roster. Besides their pitching.
I agree. Their offense is stinky. It's real bad. But I believe we're gonna make the playoffs this year. I believe it. That pitching staff, like you said, is generational. Like
Dude.
1 through 5, like of all ones. Like you're gonna get another full year of Brian Wu. Like ridiculous.
Fastball thrower.
Best fastball. He throws like 70-80% fastballs, and you just can't hit it. Like it's just if he develops a third pitch like this year, like Logan Gilbert, like this past season, got another pitch. Bryce Miller got another pitch. That's why he was so good this past year. If you compare Bryce Miller's numbers to Corbin Burns' numbers, like I think I did I send it to you?
I don't think so. But
I
are
think I
they
sent. I think
crazy?
they're like the exact same. It's ridiculous. Like you basically have Corbin Burns as your four. Like it's nuts. And this offense, I still think we should go out and go trade for Luis Ariz. I still think it's possible. And if we do that, I like our lineup a lot better. I think I'm really hoping for like a full year of Julio of like him just dominating. I've been waiting for that breakout, like the full breakout. Like, do you remember? I remember that 1 month where he had like 14 hits in like 3-4 games.
Wow.
Remember that?
I don't remember it, but that
Broke the
sounds
MLB
insane.
record for like most hits in like a 4 game stretch, like something ridiculous. Like that month single handedly put him like in third in MVP that 1 year. Like if we get a full year of that, that offense goes with it. And I mean, they probably should be a team to sell, but I'm a biased Seattle Mariners fan, and I'm gonna be there for opening day. I'm like working right now to like buy plane tickets to
Let's
go
do
to
it.
opening day.
Hell yeah, Luke. Luke's gonna have to get some vlog content for us.
I'll just take photos. I don't like the vlog. I don't like to do that.
Photos. All right.
Photos.
What's your fit team, Luke?
There's a lot of teams. Like I'm not optimistic on teams. I'm not gonna be like you and put a team that like was 20 games under 500 as a team to sell. But I put the Twins to sell. Like it's not really much, but like
Right.
I don't. They have their ownership. They're selling the team. They want to sell payroll. They didn't re-sign Max Kepler. Like Carlos Correa is like whatever that team. Like that team is just in a weird direction. What was Pablo Lopez this past year? Like he was not good this year.
Oh my God.
Uh,
And
Duran,
is Royce Lewis gonna end up playing more than 15 games this year?
yeah,
Ever?
Duran didn't have his best year. Like that team's just in the water. Like really odd, and I just don't see them doing anything. Like the past few years, they've like I think they were projected to win the division this past year, right? I think they were.
Yeah, I think I would argue that.
Yeah, I think this past year they were projected, and they didn't. And they were horrible, and I think a repeat year of not being good.
It's just
I
the
just
definition of teams not like taking advantage of their opportunities, man. This is a team that, like when they went 4 games and lost to the Astros a couple years ago, we're like, okay, we're starting to build something. They just don't do anything about it, man. It's like they just kind of they just kind of
well,
sit there and roll over, and they're like, all right, good
well, it's
enough.
they have money issues. They're selling their team right now, and then
Oh,
just
okay,
like they have pieces there. They just didn't perform. Like it's not. They're just like really like they're just a really mid team. Like
yeah,
they're like the biggest like what they're like one of the bigger what ifs teams. Like if everyone on that team played to their full potential and like wasn't injury prone, oh shit, that's a
yeah.
good team right
We're
there.
looking at a
But
pretty damn good team.
yeah, but like they like like they made the playoffs and they didn't they beat the Astros that playoff series or did they lose that one?
I
They
think they
lost it,
beat
right?
Toronto, and then they lost to
Yeah, they
Houston.
beat Toronto, I think, and then they lost to the Astros. Like they were in the playoffs a few years ago and they were playing well, but they're just mid. They're like the definition of like
Mid.
mid. Same with them and the Giants. I'm hopeful for the Giants. Like they were almost a team like I wanted to put to buy, but I think they're like a year away to like fully pushing my
I agree.
chips. But
They were kind of like that 6 team for me, also.
yeah, like they could, but I just think they need to make a few more moves before I could put them into buy.
Awesome. Well, we did it. I'm proud of us on that segment. I think that it turned out pretty good.
Hmm.
So that's all we got for you guys today. Me and Luke, we're gonna keep trying to do this like whenever we can. The goal is like once a week, but then obviously, like both of us are in school, both of us are working. Like it's a lot. It really is a
Busy,
lot.
busy.
So we're gonna keep trying to crank these out for you guys. The MLB season's coming even closer to starting. So stay tuned for more videos from me and Luke. Follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And also, let's pray that TikTok doesn't get banned. That should be a prayer for us
It's
because
back. It's back.
that's like the only place me and Luke actually gets emotion on
Yes,
our damn
sir.
videos. So let's stay active there. And thank you
Hmm.
guys for watching. That's all we got.